Good morning, students. Today we will study English and our first chapter, three questions, part number two. I hope you have read the video which has gone to you, and now I am reading textbook second part. Please listen very carefully and read as well as your textbook also. Then we'll understand the entire story. The king turned round and saw a bearded man running towards them. His hands were pressed against his stomach, from which blood was flowing. When he reached the king, he fainted and fell to the ground. The king and the hermit removed the man's clothing and found a large wound in his stomach. The king washed and covered it with his handkerchief, but the blood would not stop flowing. The king redressed the wound until at last the bleeding stopped. The man felt better and asked for something to drink. The king brought fresh water and gave it to him. By this time the sun had set and the air was cool. The king, with the hermit's help, carried the wounded man into the hut and laid him on the bed. The man closed his eyes and lay quiet. The king, tired by his walk and the work he had done, lay down on the floor and slept through the night. When he awoke, it was several minutes before he could remember where he was or who the strange bearded man lying on the bed was. Forgive me, said the bearded man in a weak voice when he saw the king was awake. I don't know you and have nothing to forgive you for, said the king. You don't know me, but I know you. I am that enemy of yours who swore revenge on you because you put my brother to death and seized my property. I knew you had gone alone to see that hermit, and I made up my mind to kill you on your way home. But the day passed and you did not return, so I left my hiding place and I came upon your bodyguard who recognized me and wounded me. I escaped from him, but I should have died if you had not dressed my wounds. I wish to kill you, and you have saved my life. Now, if I live, I will serve you as your most faithful servant and will order my sons to do the same. Forgive me. The king was very happy to have made peace with the enemy so easily and to have won him over as a friend. He not only forgave him but said he would spend his servant and his own doctor to look after him, and he promised to give back the man his property. Leaving the wounded man, the king went out of the hut and looked around for the hermit. Before going away, he wished once more to get answers to his questions. The hermit was on his knees, sowing seeds in the beds that had been dug the day before. The king went up to the hermit and said, for the last time, I beg you to answer my question, wise man. You have already been answered, said the hermit, still bending down to the ground and looking up at the king as he stood before him. How I have been answered? What do you mean? Do you not see? Replied the hermit. If you had not pitied my weakness yesterday and had not dug these beds for me, you would have gone away. Then that man would have attacked you, and you would have wished you had stayed with me. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds, and I was the most important man, and to do me good was your most important business. Afterwards, when the man ran to us, the most important time was when you were caring for him. Because if you had not dressed his wounds, he would have died without having made peace with you. So he was the most important man, and what you did for him was your most important business. Remember then, there is only one time that is important, and that time is now. It is the most important time because it is the only time we have, and we have any power to act. The most necessary person is the person you are with a particular moment, for no one knows what will happen in the future and whether we will meet anyone else. The most important business is to do that person good, because we were sent into his world for the purpose alone. Here the story is over, written by Leo Tolstoy. So I hope you understood. I will give you homework, and one small poem is there, The Squirrel, that I also read right now, and I will give you its meaning, word meaning, and everything. The squirrel, he wore a question mark for tail, an overcoat of grey. He sat up straight to a nut. He liked to see tease and play, and if we run around his tree, he went the other way. Written by Mildred Bowers Armstrong. Now, I am just reading on and telling you the meaning of this poem. Okay. The summary is, the in the poem, the squirrel, the poet describes a squirrel that she observed in her garden. The poet describes how the squirrel, covered in grey furs, sits in an upright position on a tree branch eating a nut. The squirrel's tail looked like a question mark because of its bent shape. The happy and lively squirrel loves to play with the poet and her friends. Whenever they run around the tree, the squirrel would run to the other side of the tree. The poet tells us about the nature of the squirrel, that it is innocently naughty and likes to tease anyone who comes near to him. So this is the summary of the poem, and I will give you two works. Remember, this time your work will be little bit increased. 4, 5, 6 pages work come. So don't worry, you will write and send to me. Okay. See you in next class. Thank you very much.